we've got some young guys that we are targeting, like with Miles Murphy and Desmond Evans. Like every week, we're going to try to get them a few more reps. But we're saying, hey, look, we want to get them 8 to 10 to 12 to whatever the number is, 5, and put them in, and they're going to get better by playing, and then try to put them in situations where they can go be successful with the call that's with what we're seeing out of the offense and the calls we're making. So there's part of it. Obviously, some positions rotate more than others. Kadri Jackson and Eugene Asante, you guys have heard me say this, are really good players. It's just hard to rotate 44 and 21 out. So we got to we're constantly trying to find ways to play those guys more. It's just hard with the offenses that we see, to play a bunch of linebackers. So we kind of go in the game with a target number from most guys, and then what we always try to do, Ross, is depending on where the ball is. So if it's a sudden change or if they do start to move the ball on us, right, then at that point we start to go with our more veteran guys. Obviously, end of a half, end of the game, we try to go with your most veteran guys, the guys that are playing the best at that point, and try to win the game.
There's two ways to do it. One is based on going into the game. We kind of know where our players are from a rep count standpoint. So you have sort of a number in mind. You never know how many plays you're going to get in a game. We're already getting fewer plays in games than we did last year because teams are holding the football. So, but percentage-wise, you have a focus. But you want to keep your top players out on the field on 3rd and long. You get down to the red zone, you want your top playmakers on the field. So those things play a part. And then, of course, the war of attrition plays a part. So if we've got De'Ami Brown has covered a lot of ground on 5 or 6 plays, we may, Lonnie may spell him just because he needs it. So I think the fatigue factor and I think the situation in the game or where we are on the field plays a part of that. And so Gillespie does a really good job, as good as anybody had been around, of working through our running backs. And Lonnie does the same thing with the receivers. And we already know going into the game what the O-line rotation is. And so Stacy has a rep count in his head, and we're trying to spell guys accordingly. So it's the same philosophy with all three. But obviously, if you have a legitimate first guy, you want him on the field the most. And you're going to spell him when he needs it with a guy that kind of meets the standards. And so that really doesn't change from week to week. That's the same.